Hey guys, Taco SS here again today, having a little fun. I have been working with my Stukas on Tier 2 and I'm really getting pretty fond of them. They really work well if you use them like a biplane. And they serve two roles. One, the bombers in this game are always screaming for escorts. If they would fly together, they wouldn't need escorts, but they all run off helter skelter by themselves, and they're pretty easy targets when that happens. Um, but using your Stuka, you can do a couple of things. One, you can escort bombers pretty damn well, at least for the initial couple of minutes, and get them past the bomber poachers on the other team that are coming up. Second, if you use your Stuka in the same theory as a biplane, you will shoot down other enemy fighters. And we're going to do it here. Okay, I may cut this video up some because this takes a while to get over to the other side and do your thing. But I've been doing this for the past couple of weeks, and I've been shooting down Corsairs, Hurricanes, Yak 9s, Yak 3s, Wildcats with this piece of shit, supposedly, Tier 2 Stuka. Okay, what's really nice about this D model is that it actually has cannons. Okay, what's kind of strange is that usually if I try to escort, and this is not the best map to really show this, if I usually try to escort one of my bombers, they'll freak out when you get near them. They'll hear your engine, they'll like try to get distance. Well, don't let them do that. Right? So here's this initial attack, and I'm going to get rid of my bombs real quick, just to gain a little speed. Here comes a 38 Lightning that wants to engage me. Kick your flaps on. He's pretty smart, but he's still turned with me. Okay? Those are 20mm cannons coming off my wings. And homeboy damn sure can't outturn me and that piece of shit. So, there's your 38G going down, and look who's in control of the airspeed as homeboy burned. Oh, you burned. The shame of being shot down in your P-38G by a Stuka. Okay, and really, my gunners are not maxed out here, guys. They're about 35 out of 50. But that guy just got schooled, okay? Why? Because he he expects you to play this bomber like everybody else does in this game. And that is, they simply just don't defend themselves. Somebody gets up behind your Stuka and you just let them turn on you quickly and shoot you, and your tail gunner's not that good, and they tear you to bits. But if you'll defend yourself by using your flaps, and I didn't remember there to put them back in raised position, you can pretty much, you will just surprise the other team's fighters that come after you usually so badly, they will try to turn fight you. And it's the same thing as, being in a biplane. You don't turn fight biplanes. But because they don't expect you to defend yourself, they will turn fight you, and you must use your flaps. But you can outturn them, and then here's a perfect situation. A guy screaming for support. If you would just stay together, if the bombers would just stay together, they would support each other. They wouldn't need support, right? So here, you've reloaded your bombs. You bomb the base again, but you're always the trick is keeping very aware of what's going on around you, and making sure you're not getting jumped by these fighters, you know, because that's the problem. If I get down on the deck, just like when you're in a biplane, it's very hard to look up and see who's coming after you. It's just, that's a difficult thing to do because you're on the deck and you're trying to fly, you know, as well. So you really have to maintain good situational awareness of what the hell is going on. But if you do, and you defend yourself, I'm having a blast in these things. I mean, it really surprises people, and knocking people out with your Stuka is incredibly gratifying. And as you noticed in this match, they've just blown off coming after these bases. I mean, coming up after our bombers here. The guy was probably bitching because he's on the other end. Okay, now, you know, I'm going to keep an eye on this 190, and there's another 38G. But remember, you know, I'm at 2,700, so they're coming in at 15 to 2,000. So they should be looking over here and going, JU, 87. This is an easy target. I should go get him, but they're not in this particular game. Remember that the highest scoring ace of World War II on any side was Rudell. And granted, he didn't shoot down many Allied fighters. They were all ground targets. The guy's nickname was the Eagle of the East, and for a damn good reason. He killed, and I think one of the estimates was you could only estimate Rudell's contribution to the war in the terms of billions of dollars worth of equipment that he killed. 500 tanks, multiple stuff, and he was shot down 4 or 5 times, but I believe he survived the war. Top scoring ace in a Stuka, a plane that only does 220 miles an hour. It's fairly freaking amazing. Now, I really don't want to come in here and get into a head-on. You need the advantages that you have as a bomber, which is height. So, okay, here we go. Here's the 190. And he's decided, he's the man, he's going to come up here and tear us up, right? Get rid of my bombs, and get ready for him. Flaps on. Flaps to landing. Increase your speed. He's completely ignored me because he sees me as no threat. And now he's dead. The shame. It's horrible. Did you see how easy that was? I mean, part of it is that he's going slow because, he's trying to get altitude. But he's not going to pay attention to an 87 because they don't protect themselves 9 out of 10 times. And you just make him into a meat cake there. So here again, we've got a P40, okay? And I've forgotten to turn my flaps back on, which is not the best. I should have turned them off and gotten in position here. But this guy is dying for altitude here, He's not in a really good position. And you've got to take that initial pass, and he's hurt me. And to make the turn, I'm going to get rid of my bombs. But look, I'm already, in position to school him. Okay, and that was not a good turn. My aircraft is damaged, and I have to deal with the other one. But, there's a third kill. Okay? And if homeboy's stupid here and my wings were damaged, I'd have shot his dumb ass down too. Okay? So now they're pissed. Now it's come and get me. Alright, well, come and get me. I have no engine. But I am going to get off another load on this airfield. Or at the least, I am dragging them down from altitude to where I'm going to be the last thing that they kill. Okay? If my other bombers would have stayed at altitude, then that would have been it. 3, 2, 1. I dump my load. I can turn pretty well left, but not really. And I did not manipulate my flaps as I should have. I have no engine, and I almost was able to ram homeboy there, which would have been another good kill. I wish I could just get my nose up in this situation, but I can't, because I have no airspeed, and they've finally gotten the clue that I'm not just going to let them run me over. But I've managed to drag the 3 planes that are after me here back down to the ground, which takes them out of the fight for the high-end aircraft. And while I'm down here dying, I might get off another bomb load. 3, 2, 1. Gonna dump my bombs. Come on, get them off, get them off. Okay. Didn't really, I don't think I got them off there. But that was an excellent representation of what you can do with the Stukas early, early on in the game. I'm happy to trade a Stuka for 3, allied of the enemy's team's fighter any day of the week. And simply by defending myself, by not being passive and just going, oh, this plane sucks, I was able to do that. So now I'm back in the fight in my second Stuka, which is, just as maneuverable. Again, you just think of it as a biplane. If you can get through the initial pass, you're going to be fine. And most likely they will try to turn fight you, and you can simply blow them out of the sky. It really is amazing how consistently this happens. And it's even better on the initial attack, because if you've stayed with one of your big bombers, your B-25 or your HK-6 like that one down there, 90% of the time the fighter will go after the big bomber. He said, oh, well, that's who I need to get rid of. That's the guy with the big bomb load. And he'll ignore you, which, you dump your bombs, turn your flaps on, out-turn him, and give him the cannons. And, they go down in flames. And let me tell you how irritated they should be after getting, decimated like that. So I lost that Stuka, right? My first one. Where are their aircraft? Well, I dragged them all down to the deck, and they aren't coming back up to 4,000, anytime soon. So, so for my second run, here I am safe. And that was a really close game that we probably should have won, but that's the way it goes. So, again, if you use your Stuka like a biplane, and you've got to use your flaps, you can out-turn. I had great hits here. I shot down three juicy targets, and I dragged 3 more down to the deck. That really is a great contribution to the game in the Stuka. And I probably kept some of my other bombers alive by killing those 3 guys and by, dragging the other guys down to the deck. So I really suggest, if you're tier 2, don't discount your Stukas. They are outstanding. You just have to play them right, turn fight with them, defend yourself. You will surprise the other fighters, and they become meat very quickly. So good luck. I hope this helps you guys out, and kill some nubs.